Yeah, we should be in a second.
Yeah. We're live, pal.
The disappointing in it.
Yeah.
Why?
Oh, yeah. This is definitely off center. Move that over. That's damn near perfect. You want another water?
Yes, sir.
I will be stepping up my snack game this weekend.
Oh, yeah?
So next time you come, I'll be ready for you.
Hell yeah.
Yeah. Oh. That. Looks good.
All right, and I've got it shared.
Oh, yeah.
All right. Are you unmuted?
We've been unmuted.
Okay.
And pull up our notes here.
Our little notey note.
Yeah.
All right. Are you good? You ready for this? That's
a deep cut down.
That was a deep cut, wasn't it? Then live from the landing strip in Houston, Texas, it's the 431st edition of Houston Wrestling Radio. This is Abel.
This is Chris.
And thank you so much for tuning in today, guys. We very much appreciate it. So if you're joining us live, thank you.
Hector's in there.
Hector's already up in this bitch. What's up, Hector? Nice to see you finally joining us for once.
What's up, Hector?
Oh shit.
He's got daddy jobs
Yes,
now.
he does have daddy jobs.
Yeah.
I don't call him daddy, but
Somebody calls him daddy.
Someone calls him daddy. Yeah. But yes, thank you for joining us live. If you are like Hector and you're watching us live, log into your YouTube account. That way you can chat along with us in the live chat here on my old handy dandy smartphone. I will involve you as best as I can in the show. So feel free to just say hi, fact check, talk shit, ask questions, whatever. I'll see it and I'll try to respond to it and get you involved, man. Now, if you're not watching this live, that's okay. You can still interact with us on Facebook, facebook.com/Houston Wrestling Radio. Chris.
What's up, man?
What's up, my brother?
Man, you know, one of the most memorable things in my experience with watching pro wrestling happened a couple of weekends ago when we ran it back. You and I went to the outskirts of Houston, which is basically Rosenberg.
Apparently.
Yeah.
Well, it wasn't just you and I.
My nephew Junior.
Yeah.
Our brother Scott.
Scott.
From Scott. Yeah. The four of us went down there. Stuck around for some Rampage. Surprisingly stuck around for everything.
Yeah.
Highlights.
Man, I like the size of the arena. right?
Yeah.
It's not too big. It's not too small. It's bigger than Fertitta, smaller than Toyota, I would say. Smaller than Toyota Center.
Much smaller.
Yeah.
I noticed high enough where they can actually have pyro. The ceiling at Fertitta isn't high.
They can't do
So
pyro.
they can't do pyro in there.
Yeah. So
Unless-
it's like, ooh,
yeah.
pyro.
Yeah.
Yeah, it was cool. It was real cool. Another highlight would be you breaking a chair.
I broke several chairs.
You did.
So we were the second or third show in this new arena that was just put up at the Fort Bend Epicenter. And you would think that the arm rail with the cup holder attached to it is kind of like one with the chair. So it supports weight. So I must have popped off like half dozen of these arm railings. Just went pow! Like, wait a minute, what the fuck?
Yeah, they were just like Legoed on. That's all they were, you know. Yeah, but
no Lego stick. This is more like Lincoln logs,
Duplos.
Duplo. Well, yeah, Mega Blocks.
All right,
yeah, Mega Blocks. Yeah, we can't sully the good name of Lego, regardless if it's for kids.
Hector asked if we bumped into Colt Cabana.
No, we didn't get a chance to.
Yeah, but we did see Cutler and Brian Keith doing something. I guess for BTE. I don't know if it was for BTE or not, but yeah. He also asked, "How was parking?" Mixed bag with the parking. Like, I don't think it was hard to figure out where it was, but it was a long wait because there was only like two entrances and they were obvious where they were, but it's like, god damn, you were waiting forever. And then once you parked,
it's almost in the middle of nowhere. So it's not like if you park at Toyota Center, you could park like 6 blocks away, and after 6 o'clock, parallel parking's free. Or you can't go to like Minute Maid and park like 4 blocks down, and then or whatever. Or you can park in a neighborhood and walk by. Like if you park in a neighborhood far enough from where the Houston Cougars play football.
No, this is literally off the feeder.
Yeah. So there weren't many alternatives other than you're paying $20 for parking, which $20 for parking. The car was full of 4 of us. I didn't think it was that expensive. But since there's only 2 entrances, and we got there like at 6:30.
We got there late. We missed all of the dark matches.
Yeah. But even then, you would think if we got there at 6:30, most of the people will have already been in there by now, and it wouldn't have been as long a wait to get in the lot. Like, I would expect the wait that we had if we were one of the first ones there. Okay. I would have expected that wait if 15 minutes to bell time, and we're still outside. Which I thought I'd made the right call instead of doing the U-turn. I just went and turned left and did the other entrance because that U-turn line was long.
Yeah. Our line was long.
Yeah.
But it was still shorter than the other one. So yeah. The parking itself, I didn't feel like it was like, oh God, we got to figure it out. Are we in the itchy lot or the scratchy lot? Like, it wasn't that bad. Like, it wasn't that big and complicated. Like, we knew where we were, and it's like, okay, we're just way down that way. And we just went that way, and it was like, okay, well, the stadium's over there. Let's go over there. Like, that's it. The one thing that I do miss from the bigger stadiums, Minute Maid and NRG and shit like that we don't get there, is all there was fucking Chick-fil-A and their generic ass concessions. It's like, oh,
you want variety, you want options. Yeah, if you're spending $30 on a meal, you want it to be good.
I wasn't spending $30.
I know
their regular concession place, like not Chick-fil-A, their one,
$5 for some chicken tenders.
It was $6 for chicken tenders and fries. Yeah, it wasn't bad. It wasn't bad at all. Right? I think the bottle of water was like $1.50, $2, something like that.
4. The bottle of water was 4. Yeah,
4 each.
Yeah,
was it?
Yeah. Which again, still is I've paid worse.
Yeah.
It's a quaint little spot. I prematurely was rubbing my hands, saying, "Bro, I got us good seats again."
Yeah.
Which, in hindsight, I thought they were.
However,
since the arena's small, the boom camera, the little cart was right in front of us.
Yeah.
We couldn't see shit.
Right.
And the same problem I've had with most AEW shows where half of the action is happening outside of the ring. So from where we were sitting, we still couldn't see shit.
So let's describe where we were sitting. So one thing about Epicenter is that it's not square. The inside was more rectangular. I guess they're thinking about doing hockey there. I don't know why they built it, but it seems like they made it so that it could be a hockey arena, but I don't know for sure. Like, I mean, I didn't see ice or Zamboni or anything like that, or penalty boxes, but like that's just kind of how it was shaped. I mean, maybe they're thinking maybe also basketball, but I don't know. It was rectangular. Well, for wrestling, you need more of a square because they basically had like the stage and the ring was maybe 1/3 was that side, and then the second third was here, and then the third was all floor seats. And we were on the first set of risers, on the front row of the first set of risers, in that third. Yeah. So when we were looking straight,
we're staring at the audience.
So we had to look that way. Yeah. And that way was the boom camera, like you said, and all the other humanoids that had floor seats. Yeah. So we couldn't really see. So what we did was we just saw up behind us, a few rows up and a little bit further that way, there was a bunch of empty rows.
Scott first noticed that there were balconies.
Yeah.
On the top behind us.
The top bowl.
Yeah, behind us. And as we were making our way up, I was like, yo, there's empty seats here. Why don't we just sit there? And we did. And we did. And it was great. Because we were like one section beside the hard camera. So the action was being played to us.
Yeah.
Those are like the perfect seats.
Yeah.
Well somewhat.
No,
the perfect seats were later.
Yeah. Portia
moved around a lot.
Yeah. Portia wound up getting seats last minute, and she was basically in the same area that we were
on the other side of the
except in the first third of the arena, literally in front of the ring. Yeah. So it was like the ring, the first 4 rows, and then risers where she was, and she was on the first row of the risers, and there's somebody else there. So we went and sat next to her. We were sat so close that you got yelled at.
Which brings me back to my original comment. A match on Rampage was Ruby Soho against Sky Blue.
Yeah. And
Soraya's at ringside just talking shit. And then Sky Blue kicked out of a move that Ruby Soho did. And I looked at Soraya. I was like, Soraya! Disappointing, isn't it? Oh, she went on. I didn't know she was paying attention to me, number one. And number two, she lit me the fuck up.
Well, first, before she like spotted who it was, she just whipped around and said, "Shut up and sit down." And you were already sitting down.
I told her, "I'm already sitting." And then she completely went off.
Yeah. It was great. Oh, it was great. It didn't quite
My nephew was legit worried.
Yeah.
She was going to jump around and beat me up.
Yeah.
I'm like,
I mean, you would have liked it.
I would have won. And not how you think.
Yeah. So yeah, that was fun. Once we actually knew where to go. Now that we've been there once to that arena, I think I have a good idea of where to get good seats now. So yeah,
and those seats that she had were not available to me at the time when I had pre-sale.
Right.
So
because I think they opened up extra seats because they're like, oh shit, we're actually selling more. Yeah. You know, we did say that there was empty rows behind us into the center, which there were, but I was still surprised with how many people were actually there. Yeah. Like, it wasn't like, oh my God, the entire hard cam side was empty. No, that one section just happened to have like the top 3 rows empty, and that's it. And then
they filled up because more people had the same problem we did.
Yeah, so more came up that way. So and the actual hard cam side section, only that section was roped off. Yeah. And that was it. So but all the way around,
I would say that lower bowl was 90% full.
Yeah.
Besides the floor being 100% full.
Yeah.
So I would say if they come back, they could probably and again, if they had started selling like at least the first 2 or 3 rows of one of the top levels, I would have gotten one of the top levels that was eyeing straight down the ramp and down the ring. So we would have had a perfect view of everything. Yeah. Those are the seats I would like.
Yeah.
So, but none of that was available. So I thought what I had at the moment was good.
Yeah.
And then by the time when we got there, I was like, oh, damn. Sometimes patience is a virtue.
Right. Yeah. So, but I mean, it worked out. So yeah, it was good. It was good.
Your match of the night from the show in Rosenberg.
Man, the Omega match.
Omega and Kyle Fletcher.
Yeah, Omega and Fletcher did really well. That was a good match, man. That was fun. That was real fun in the arena too. A lot of people were like hyped for it and stuff. They're like, I get it. There's a debate going on as to would you rather have a really big arena with less people, or would you rather have a small place with a hot crowd? Well, for wrestling fans, and I would think maybe for a few of the wrestlers, the performers themselves, they'd rather have a smaller arena with a hotter crowd because it's just more fun. But I get it. Business-wise, if you have a bigger arena and you only sell out 60% of it, you still make more money than if you sold out a smaller venue. I get it. I totally understand. 100%. But that arena, like you said, 100% of the floor was sold. 90% of the bowl, the lower bowl was sold. And then there was nobody at the top bowl.
Smattering.
So it was like, okay, I get it. The arena was like maybe 70% full, but for where we were almost at 100% full. So it was fun as fuck. And that match didn't have any business being as good as it fucking was, right? It was Omega and Fletcher for nothing, right? Just for shits and giggles, for funsies, I guess. Maybe
to further the plot of the Callis family versus Omega,
right? Which it didn't necessarily need this match to be as good as it was to keep furthering that along. But fuck, that match was good, man. Yeah.
I was pleasantly surprised with that match as well. It sucks. It's got to be hard being a tag team because there's always opportunity for the guy that's left behind when one of your partners gets injured.
Yeah.
And in this instance, Fletcher being the younger one, Fletcher having more of the style, the archetype style that a lot of the wrestlers in AEW have.
Right.
And waiting for that opportunity to be like, oh, I guess we're trying to make Fletch happen. Okay.
I think they did.
I think what set the stage for me wasn't the match, but the promo itself, where Kyle Fletcher was not 100%. It wasn't that Kyle Fletcher, just because he was anti-Omega, he was pro-Callis family. He had some shit about the Callis family also. That he had his own thing to prove.
Yeah.
And spoiler alert, I'm not going to give you a result, but
it already aired.
On Rampage, we're getting Fletcher versus Takeshita.
Oh.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Either that or Collision. But that was advertised during last night's Dynamite.
All right.
So, or on the internet somewhere. But I am definitely ready for more of that. Fletcher's got. I feel like if Fletcher goes on this trajectory, he's going to be what we think of Speedball or what we see Ospreay years from now, where it's like, this is the development of the next.
It's funny you say that way because I was thinking, oh, this is Baby Ospreay. You know, that's kind of what I was thinking about him. You know, I mean, maybe it's the fact that he was wearing Ospreay's colors. You know, he's in Ospreay's group. You know, he's also,
which for whatever reason somehow it suddenly isn't a thing in AEW, even though we all know there is.
Yeah. So it's like, oh, well, maybe that's why I'm drawing the comparison. And, you know, they've been running buddies for a while. So I guess, you know, he's picking up stuff from Ospreay, you know, so maybe that's what it is. But yeah, he just seemed like a baby Ospreay in there, which was cool. That's not a diss. That's a compliment. Yeah.
I think once we got settled in the seats that we were going to end up in for most of the show, Jay White and Penta was fun. They had chemistry I wasn't expecting them to have. I know it's the showmanship of it, but at some point it's gonna get tiresome, bro. Tiresome, and you can't suspend your disbelief long enough when you're going back and forth trading who's got the stronger elbow or who's got the stronger chop, and then you have to pause and
so you can take off his glove again.
But besides that, I don't mind seeing more of that. I'm not sure if it's happened already. I'm sure Hector could probably fill us in. Jay White versus Phoenix would fucking be. Whew.
Oh yeah. That would be fire.
Yeah.
Hector says he's getting the same treatment as the guy from Top Flight. Okay.
Oh yeah, Dante.
Yeah. because Darius was the one that was out forever, and they're like, well, let's try to make Dante happen.
And then
Dante
broke his ankle.
Yeah, then Dante'd.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Um,
How bad of an injury does Mark have? Kyle Fletcher's tag team partner. Was it Mark? What was his name? I forget. The dude with the ass.
Yeah.
How much? The guy that's all caked up.
I don't know. The U to the me. I'm Kyle Fletcher.
Arnold says
hurt.
Dante lost his ankle and his girl SMH.
Yeah.
What's up, Arnold?
Hey, we have our whole show here.
Yeah.
Mrs. Scott.
Well, yeah, Mrs. Scott. Yeah, of course. We can't wrangle all the cats together at the same time.
I was getting bored a bit at the chapter of MJF, the anti-hero champion, being portrayed as being bullied by 4 guys and not doing more to try to get his belt back. I think we're caught up now with last night's episode where it finds like the Avengers team is going to assemble somehow, or something's going to happen.
Which he kind of doesn't really want. He's like the anti-Nick Fury.
Yeah.
He doesn't want any of you motherfuckers to help him out.
Yeah.
But like they just keep coming and they're like, hey, I'll help you. Hey, I'll help you. Hey,
Our Nick Fury has 2 eyes.
Yes. Maybe he is a scroll.
But to balance that, I'm kind of really enamored with the fact that there's so many people that want MJF. You know, he's everyone's scumbag now, but scumbag did a lot of trash in the past, and now all that trash is coming back to recycle.
It's resurfacing. Yeah.
So you got War Daddy, you got Samoa Joe, you got Jay White.
Yeah.
Somehow Kenny Omega's trying to throw his hat in the ring.
Yeah.
And you got the devil.
Right.
The devil. It's the devil.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And then you have Acclaim trying to be their friends reluctantly.
And then Roddy's group is like,
trying to do
I guess I know
too.
what I got to do to stroke Adam.
Yeah.
Adam!
Arnold says this in the live chat. That shit with Max Caster is gold. I wonder if he's the devil.
Okay, so Hector posted this in our group chat. And so I'm going to address this because there was a picture that floated around a couple weeks ago of the masked guy and his body, his skeletal shape.
Yeah.
I kind of think I know who it is.
Who?
Someone that needs this.
Who?
Someone that got the advice from MJF that nice guys are not going to get the job done. It's Jungle Boy.
Oh.
I think it's Jungle Boy.
Yeah,
I don't know who the rest of the people are.
Right.
But that body type looked like it's Jungle Boy.
Huh.
I know Hector posted that thing that said it would be one of the best slow burns in wrestling history if it turns out to be CM Punk.
No, it's not Punk.
But
what if it was?
We as wrestling
But
fans,
what if it was?
what if?
What if it was? And all this stuff was
And we've been waiting for the payoff. We've been waiting for the Punk MJF payoff since the last All Out.
Yeah.
Yeah. I'm thinking it's Jack Perry.
Jungle Jack Perry.
Yeah. And all it takes is one promo to be like, well, I guess I'm taking him seriously.
Yeah. Man, that'd be interesting.
Yeah. So MJF is approaching the record right now of the longest reign in AEW, and at the same time, he's got about 5 people at least that
are chomping at the bit.
Yeah.
Yeah.
If you had the pencil, who would he drop it to?
Who would he drop it to?
Yeah.
Shit. Right now? None of them. None of them right now. I would figure out a way where he makes all the people chasing him implode on each other and come out on the other end with the belt unscathed and fine, you know? I don't know how that happens. Do you put together a fucking 5-way or something eventually or what? And then you have MJF come out on top. beyond current situation and all the people that are gunning for his title now, who would I say should beat MJF and be the fucking AEW World Champ? Fuck, man, that's tough. But I would want to say, I know right now, current state, it's not believable. But eventually, Pretty Ricky, man.
Oh,
Pretty Ricky.
Woo! Absolutely.
Ricky Starks. Eventually,
Wow.
Ricky Starks takes it off of him. Whether MJF is the babyface and Ricky's the heel, or you could flip flop that around and it's fine. Because I've seen both heel and face runs out of both of them, and I like both of them.
After the promo that happened last night on Dynamite with Joe stepping up to Max and saying, "I'll be your backup as long as you give me what I'm due."
Yeah.
Pretty Ricky and Big Bill
Yeah.
against Samoa Joe and MJF.
Ooh. All right.
I mean, if we have this conversation 8 weeks from now, if you book it or plant the seeds, MJF versus Swerve would be very refreshing because I don't think we've ever gotten that before. And I don't know how an anti-hero or a wannabe babyface MJF would tackle a guy like Swerve on the mic, let alone what that would look like in an actual match. And this is what Swerve's character is building to.
Yeah.
You have all Paige has had all the opportunities. If Swerve only had one, that was all he would need. And if MJF is suddenly defending his title on Collision, then you can have that match on Collision or on Dynamite at least to test the waters to see if Swerve is ready. That's the problem with having a Dream Federation when you have at least a dozen guys that are worthy of being main event talent, be the champion for the company. But the company has a mindset of we're going old school. Whoever's our champ's going to hold it for 9 to 12 months. That weeds out a lot of people to time and to injury and to just interest.
Yeah.
You know? So.
Well, I mean, Hector kind of says left turn pick, Swerve.
Wow. I wasn't even looking. I wasn't looking.
Yeah. He says, and then Arnold says, I wish Swerve needs something like this. Every storyline he's been in has been ass.
I'll tell you what was ass. Cutting the promo on the baby. I've never been a fan of people breaking into other people's homes. At some point, it's no longer pro wrestling, in my opinion. And I think that's like, I can't call the fucking cops. Like what? I can't buy it.
I hear your complaint, and I'm gonna raise you one.
Go.
Why the fuck was the baby in the crib alone and nobody else in the house?
There's monitors, there's speakers. It's 2023, dude. There's cameras.
So you telling me that entire time that he's running around the kitchen eating the M&Ms, fucking Nana's taking a shit in the thing, and they're making all this noise.
Does he do this when he shits to make sure it all comes out?
Yeah, probably. And then goes and starts talking to the baby. If there was a baby monitor and somebody is there cutting a promo on a baby, you don't think it would have been like, hey, what's going on in that monitor? Come on, man. Like, I thought that was just so fucking dumb that there was nobody home.
Hector has to agree with me on this. The baby's either dead or non-existent because there's never been a newborn baby in the crib that's that quiet for that long. I know this from experience.
Yeah. Arnold also says, the original body of the devil, it was a thin frame. I think it could be Ricky. You think Ricky could be the devil?
You think Ricky could be the devil?
Big Bill?
There was not a devil the size of Big Bill.
That's true. That's a good point. But who else was in that group that was originally with MJF when he came back as the devil? It was Stokely Hathaway with Big Bill, and there was like 3 others, right?
I think the Ass Boys were there for a couple of coffees.
Was it the Ass Boys?
I don't know. They're reminding us that the devil exists. They showed the clip of him, of that, the mask and everything before in the beginning of the show.
Hector says, yes, cameras are essential. Hangman's wife was probably learning the dance.
Because I swerve when I drive. Because I swerve when I drive. Wiki.
Which, you know what? I like Swerve. But fool, you're from Seattle. You ain't from Houston. What you know about swang when you drive? What you know about that? What you know about swerving in the lane? What you know about swanging? Come on, man.
He knows about swerving because those Seattle roads are normally wet.
Oh man, that's some Houston, and he's got grill. Come on, man, that's some Houston shit. That ain't no Seattle shit. Go listen to your fucking Macklemore and get out of here.
Remix some Soundgarden.
Yeah, man. Go chop and screw up some fucking Nirvana or some shit.
Just don't end up like Kurt.
Yeah. Which I saw this on social media the other day. Kurt Cobain's daughter and Tony Hawk's son got married.
Oh wow.
Isn't that cool? That's like
Okay.
that sounds like a cool couple.
My bad. I just woke up, had a killer headache, said Scott. That's what, we were
Oh,
expecting
he
Scott
was supposed to be here.
Yeah, he passed out. He was dead.
Sorry, Scott.
Yeah, that's
What if he just comes busting through the door like Kramer here in like 20 minutes?
with like with 4 beers on a 6-pack ring. Hey!
No. 2 beers on a 6-pack.
and a liquid death for you. So the big moment from our show at Rosenberg,
Right.
it's Sting with a big announcement.
Yeah. So the big announcement is that he's going to retire. This is his farewell tour.
For real.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And that in 2024 February,
March.
Revolution.
Yeah.
That's when he's gonna have his last match.
Okay.
Cool. I liked it. It was cool. I'm glad that it was that and not, hey, I'm retiring tonight. Bye. See ya. But yeah. So I kind of like this. Hey, I'm going on a farewell tour. Like that. I don't know. I just kind of like that a little bit more than, hey, this is my last goodbye.
Yeah.
And then that's it, you know?
Yeah.
So we're kind of ready for it. You know?
So I was going to pose the question, who should his last match be against?
Mm-hmm.
But then we got the surprise last night that Christian we're still doing this.
Mm-hmm.
Christian and Luchasaurus and now Nick Wayne against Sting and Darby. We haven't finished this. This has already gone on for like 2 months already.
Well, what is this right now? We're in October, November, December, January, February, March. We got 6 months.
Yeah.
I don't think that at the end of those 6 months it's Sting versus Christian.
Hell no.
I think Sting versus Christian is like next month.
Yeah.
Right. And he's going to be one of the farewell tour matches. There's going to be a new feud every month. Everybody's going to get a piece of Sting. Sting will get the matches that he wants out of the way. But in March, it's Sting versus Darby, and he's going to pass the torch along.
That's the logical step.
I don't think it's going to be heel turn by Darby. I think it's respect kind of thing for Darby. I want you to be my last, my last, not partner, but my last opponent.
Yeah.
See what you got, kid. Yeah. That kind of thing. I really think that's what he wants to do. Although Flair's going to be around the entire time, so who knows what the
That was just what I was about to say. What do we remember about Ric Flair the last time people were talking about Ric Flair?
That he looks like he should not be in a wrestling ring ever again.
What was before that?
That people thought that was him eating out that girl on that train, but it turned out it wasn't.
I don't remember that. I do remember Dark Side of the Ring episode with the helicopter and the plane ride from hell, and people were
that too.
Yeah,
that too. He was giving away Charlotte to Andrade and was trying to be proud papa for a while. Before that, wasn't it
the last match?
Alimony shit? And then the last match before the last match ever.
Yeah.
Okay. Yeah. Oh, and then he got married again, where they showed the picture of him sticking out his tongue. A 70-year-old making out with a 50-year-old.
What was supposed to be Ric Flair's last match,
right? We
were there.
Okay, yes. WrestleMania 24, over 10 years ago. The motherfucker had like 4 last matches after that.
2008.
Yeah. Oh, God.
15 years ago.
15 years
15
ago.
years ago.
God.
Impact
Damn.
made it run a little bit, and then your opinion of the Undertaker is my opinion now of Ric Flair.
Cool.
I don't need to see him on television. I don't need to see him wrestling. I don't want to hear about him. Selfishly, I don't even want to hear about his death. I just enjoy the rest of your life, dude. You are mortal. Enjoy whatever's left on your 9th marriage with 8 tongues, and you're just stop, dude. Stop.
I'll tell you what, though, he is living his life. He is enjoying the fuck out of his life. I get it. You don't want to hear about it. To a certain extent, I don't want to hear about it. I don't want to see him wrestle. I don't want to see him in a ring and the little chorness and that's it. No, I don't want that.
I'm going to pull a page from Abel's morality book.
Okay.
What has he done to right the wrongs that got him in the shadows recently in the first place?
Oh, nothing.
So I don't want to see him.
Okay, that's fair. That's fair.
And it looks bad on Tony signing him after him calling out Vince McMahon on his shit and talking about his wrestlers on his shit.
Okay.
And then he brings Rick in and is
That's
like, yeah, let me talk out of this end. Now, wait a minute. I'm going to start talking out of this end.
Yeah.
Yeah. No.
That's very fair. Very, very, very fair. However, I kind of get it for Sting. I kind of understand.
If he's doing it just for him, I'll let it slide because
if we only see him once a month between now and March.
Yeah.
But if he's on every episode of Dynamite and he's out there providing distraction in matches and he's taking bumps and he's hitting people and he's a fucking manager and he's cutting promos for Sting. Oh God, no.
Because the last couple of weeks, ever since Sting has announced his retirement, especially last night, there was something wholesome about Sting being happy to see Ric Flair and Sting getting the adulation and Sting playing off the fans. I get it. It's Rosenberg. It's not Houston and the pop he got. He's just cutting loose. He got 6 months. At this point, what the fuck has he got to lose, right?
Right.
So the only thing that worries me, and here's the best part. Such fucking class. He mentioned in our promo here about thanking a couple of people, and he thanked Hulk Hogan, and almost everyone booed his ass.
Yeah.
And then Sting's like, I hear you, but he did so much for the business, and I was able to learn from him. That's fucking class, dude.
True.
That's
true.
Fucking class.
And that's what I wanted to see with him and Flair.
Yeah.
Like when Flair first came out, I was like, I get it. But I don't want him to be on every episode of Dynamite alongside Sting, because at that point, it's not going to be about Sting anymore. It's going to be about Rick.
And as long as the focus remains on Sting, let's watch the world.
Arnold said, well, he didn't rate me, said Sting.
If all the attention is going to be on Sting, let's watch the world burn. Have Hogan.
So when Hogan was mentioned, because you were kind of sitting on this side and me and Scott were sitting on that side, the folks in front of us, the one chick, they were like, yeah, Hogan. And then all of us, everybody was booing. We're like, boo, Hogan, why are you booing Hogan? And then Scott goes, because he's racist. He's not racist. And
he wasn't racist to me.
I just started laughing. I was like,
Hogan knows laugh.
I was like, bitch, you brown. You should know this. You just as brown as me. And you're telling that to the whitest of white guys.
To Scotland.
This dude is from Scotland. That's where they grow white people. And you're like, you telling him? Bitch.
Their people don't have skin pigmentation.
Scott is motherfucking clear.
Under the right light, he's translucent.
There's a reason why they call it Scotch tape.
That's what you get for falling asleep on us.
Do you think Sting deserves a title run?
No.
He doesn't need it. He doesn't need the title run. I'm not saying, he doesn't deserve a title in AEW. No. I get it. If he were to get one, good for him. But he's beyond titles.
I'll go one step
he
further.
doesn't need a title.
I'll go one step further. I do not want AEW to announce Sting as the first member of AEW's Hall of Fame. They've been around for a cup of coffee. There's no reason for them to do a Hall of Fame.
Arnold
now.
said they don't tan, they freckle.
Yeah. Yeah.
God damn it, Scott.
This is going to be a nice 6 months for Sting, but no. Not there. Not all that.
I want these 6 months to be a love fest for Sting.
Yeah.
And if he gets a couple of feuds out of the way, some matches that maybe he's been wanting to have, like with Christian, cool. That's what I want to see. But other than that, it's a love fest. The love fest that everybody was giving CM Punk when he came back those first 3 months, that's what I want for Sting, more intensified.
Yeah. I agree.
And this is coming from a guy that's never been the biggest Sting fan. I don't get me wrong, I'm not saying I don't like Sting. I've just never been in love with Sting.
Yeah.
Right? I've never been enamored with Sting as I have other wrestlers. I was like, oh, Sting, yeah, he's cool. Yeah. But I've never been like a hardcore Sting fan. But I want this to be where everybody all around the world is a hardcore Sting fan. Yeah. Yeah. Can they bring back Luger?
Oh, he buried Luger and Warrior.
Yeah.
And that's promo. Dude, this promo with Edge
With
when he went like this.
That was great.
Woo!
That was great. Yeah.
That's a side of Sting that I don't think we've seen. Even in Impact, I don't think he had that like, wake up, son. You're getting played by a player.
Yeah.
Like
that was so fucking good.
Yeah.
That was so cool. So, okay, who do you want? Assuming that he has one match per month, like between now and the 6 months, who do you want it to be? So, Christian, then somehow Edge.
Yeah.
Okay. And then I want the last one to be Darbs.
Mm-hmm.
Okay. Who in between? Who 3 in between?
Since he's a face right now, and they were both in the company, and they kind of had this already. I don't know if it was one-on-one.
Goldberg, get the fuck out of here.
Jericho,
okay.
Sting and Jericho.
Okay.
Dude, if Goldberg is that third man in that tag match for the fucking pay-per-view,
no, Goldberg is the devil.
Shit. It's like, oh my god,
Goldberg's the devil.
He's a devil. But no. Oh my god.
Do you think Muda will be a last match with Sting?
No.
Arnold says Jeff Jarrett yawn, or Jeff yawn Jarrett. Like, you know what? All these names that we're throwing out are nice, but with the exception of Darby, there's something lacking in this list that we're putting together. Putting over some of the younger talent, right? Edge, Christian, Jericho, all those names that we just rattled off. They're all people that are established. Who else would you like to see besides Darbs that Sting could put over, that Sting could elevate in AEW?
Oh, man. So you're telling me the younger kids?
Yeah.
Fuck. I'm going to have to think about that one.
All right. What about Juice?
So I could see MJF versus Sting as like a favor, not so much a favor, but out of respect, and Juice costing the match or just interrupting because Bang Bang's got an issue, and maybe have MJF and Sting team up with some people.
MJF and Sting versus Juice and Switchblade? That'd be pretty cool.
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah.
One more. Give me one more name. One more name.
I mean, they're kind of teasing it now. It'll probably be a fucking mess. Nick Wayne.
Wow. Sting
You
versus
want to
Nick
put
Wayne.
over the youngins. You can't get any younger. And it's already, that's the story they're telling us on television right now. I mean, the fanboy in me wants to see main event Mafia, Sting versus Joe.
Okay.
You
Yeah.
know?
Of course, Hector says Minoru Suzuki. Of course he says that. Arnold says Kenny Omega. Then he gives him a buckle bomb. Shut up, Arnold.
Oh, man.
Who is
Fuck it. Sting versus Tanahashi.
Okay.
It's out there. I mean, I'm thinking like it's good to put the young people over, but at the same time, Sting's not going to be able to keep up with a lot of these young folk.
Okay.
There has to be some of these matches. I mean, like Muda already retired, I think. He's already had his last match. Can't do that. You know what I would have been quite entertaining if he hadn't been out of retirement? Sting versus Jushin Liger.
Oh yeah.
That would have been, because Jushin knows how to slow down. He could and Sting knows that would have been fun.
Hector says Garcia.
It's hard because it's in these 6 months. Well, I would say it's hard, but it's AEW. They could throw stuff together last minute, so they could randomly out of nowhere to sell tickets in Collision in fucking bumfuck Alabama. Let's put Sting versus Daniel Garcia. But at the same time, it sucks with the farewell tour because you don't want to get burned out of the farewell tour if it's happening if he's having matches every week. Because low key, that's what Punk was doing for the first 3 months. He was having random matches on Dynamite with
that's where the whole
Tiger Style
Send Hook thing happened.
Yeah. So there was matches that he was having that wasn't so much in storyline, just having them to have them because he was trying to get ring rust off and be like, oh, I never thought I'd see CM Punk against this kid or CM Punk against that kid. So
Hector said Garcia again. I saw it, Hector. He said Garcia twice. Jackass.
So
Arnold says, Nick Wayne was my first guess, but he'd rather have Darby turn on him, and that would be his last match. Which, okay, I think it's kind of obvious. All of us are saying that it should be Sting versus Darby, but should it be because Darby turned?
No.
Or a respect, my final match will be with you, kid.
No.
Because that's kind of what I want to see. I want to see, hey, let's see what you got before I go out.
So here's the problem. For the backstory that Darby has and for the moveset that Darby has, it won't work as a heel.
Okay.
If he was about 3 inches taller and 80 pounds heavier and actually had some gruff in his voice, he could be a pretty decent heel because he's smart.
Yeah.
He cuts great promos as a babyface, and it isn't so much as your grandfather's babyface. It's a babyface that people can relate to today in 2022, 2023.
Okay.
I think he's too established in that for a heel turn to suddenly be like, oh, so I'm suddenly going to be Christian's bitch. Which would basically be happening if we're doing this under the guise of Darby and Sting versus Christian and his illegitimate son, Nick Wayne, and his illegitimate dinosaur, Luchasaurus. And now we got another freaking,
do you think we're going to have...
He's Vince Vaughn from Delivery. He's just going to have all these random kids he didn't know was his.
Do you think we're going to see in this run Luchasaurus versus Sting? I think
on Dynamite randomly, Luchasaurus will be put in the sharpshooter.
Luchasaurus has been done so dirty in this whole run here. I get it that Christian looks really good in this run. Luchasaurus, man, it's he's not entertaining. He's just
the money has always been a boy and his dinosaur.
Yeah,
him being astray, it just isn't. It isn't getting the right kind of thing. I see what they were trying to do with the story of Luchasaurus as the TNT champion, even though Christian's the one carrying it around all the time. That did wonders for Christian. It did jack shit for Luchasaurus.
Arnold's yelling at me saying, he's a dinosaur, Abel. Okay. Hijo del Stinger. That'll be Darby, I guess.
El Piquito.
El Piquito.
El Prick.
See. Sting Jr.
We stuck around afterwards for some Rampage. We talked. You brought up Omega versus Fletcher as match of the week candidate.
Yeah,
I'm gonna throw out Rocky Romero versus Mystico. That 2 out of 3 falls that opened the show,
bro. That match was
and
good.
Samoa Jose is the ref.
Yeah. That big chunky dude from AAA, man, or no, from CMLL.
CMLL.
Yeah, that dude, big guy.
I forget because Rocky Romero's in Chaos and he does all the like comedy stuff with Best Friends and he's Roppongi Vice, and he's got his little rap and everything.
Yeah.
His Mexican gimmick is Azúcar with the girls around him.
Yeah.
That I was like, I actually bought that.
Yeah.
You know, and he already has a bit of an edge or a bit of an attitude to his personality.
Yeah.
Him going full-blown heel under this like Mexican pimp or whatever, I bought it. I liked it. I want to see more of that.
Yeah.
So it kind of threw me off that the next week when we ended the show with Bryan Danielson's head being cut off and there's freaking Rocky Romero
with
ringside with Best Friends.
Yeah.
I'm like, where the hoes?
Where the hoes at? Where the hoes at?
Oh, it's CMML. ¿Dónde están las putas, güey? Las mamalonas. Las lechonas.
Los nalgonas. Yo, the ones that actually show you the weather when the weather's fine, not when they have the fucking hurricane coming out. And they get the actual media ran out there.
God dang.
Hi.
Rampage was fun. It was good. That match
Yeah.
was really good. I wasn't expecting it to be that good. That
Yeah.
was a nice little dessert after what we
Yeah.
got out of a pretty decent meal that was Dynamite here in Rosenberg.
Right.
Yeah.
I mean, another thing from that episode, Exodus Prime and Brian Keith had a match against Wheeler and Cesaro. Of course, I didn't expect, the local talent to win, but fuck, man, it's so good seeing Brian Keith and Exodus Prime now.
Well, Brian Keith did a couple of moves and then he got thrown out to the outside.
Yeah.
But I see they protected Brian Keith
They
after
did.
Brian Keith had like a
Exodus-
nice 10 or 11-minute match with Hangman a few weeks ago.
Yeah, Exodus
Brian
was the one that
Keith
took the
might be
pin.
somebody that they might-
Yeah, dude, I'm happy, man. That's really
And
cool.
don't do him dirty. Please. Don't stick him in Ring of Honor. No one's watching that shit.
Yeah.
Put him on Rampage. Put him on Collision.
Yeah.
Put him on Collision. Brian Keith and Brian Danielson.
Did you see Brian Keith's promo that he dropped like 2 or 3 days ago on Facebook?
No. Divulge.
You have to go to his Facebook page and find this promo because he had a promo that he cut on Danielson.
Oh shit!
Yeah, talking about.
I just threw that name out of thin air.
Yeah, no, he did. He cut a promo on Danielson where it was like, "Hey, it was really good to meet you. I don't normally do this, but man, I would like to have your autograph." And he takes out a wanted poster with Brian Danielson's name on it.
Oh!
I need you to sign here because you're a big bounty. And I'm like, oh shit! Oh
Let's do
shit!
Let's do it.
Yeah, like that was real cool, man.
Ring of Honor final battle.
Yeah. Oh yeah.
Brian Danielson against Keith Lee in Texas.
Well, Keith Lee or Brian?
Keith.
Brian Keith.
Brian
Yeah.
Keith in Texas.
Yeah. Oh. Yeah, dude. When I saw him post that on Facebook, I was like, "Yo, bro!" I was like, "I ring announce this guy.
Yeah.
I'm gonna ring announce this guy here in a couple of months.
Yeah.
Holy shit!" So I'm like, dude, Brian Keith, man, I'm so happy for that kid. Yeah.
So, are you looking forward to Full Gear? It's a couple weeks.
Yeah.
It's building up.
Do we have a? Well, we're not going to do a preview for that
No.
right now, right? We'll
No,
do.
no,
Okay.
Okay. I'm very much looking forward to Toni Storm and Hikaru Shida.
Man, Timeless Toni Storm has fucking.
She has turned it around.
She has stole the fucking show, man.
The Outcasts as a group fizzled out so fast,
Yeah.
because of injuries or whatever they tried to do that they couldn't get done booking wise.
Right.
Tony's the only one that did any kind of reinvention, almost
Yeah.
over reinvention to where like, holy crap, where has this been? Like
Yeah.
if WWE would have had this idea and put this on SmackDown,
Mhm.
she'd be world champ on SmackDown right now.
Very possibly. Because it seems like some sort of weird dumb shit that Vince would do that somebody would like, well,
She's got moxie.
like, this is a dumb fucking thing, but you know what? This is what my boss wants me to do, so I'm gonna try to get it over. Like the New Day or like a Stardust or something like that. Like, this is a dumb fucking gimmick, but I'll do it. Here, I don't think this is like something that Tony said, hey, I think you should do it. Tony Khan.
Yeah.
I think it was something that Tony Storm was like,
Can I try something?
yeah, I just want to see what happens.
Here's my idea.
And she just kept going with it further and further and further. And the diamond in the rough here
RJ.
Oh, fuck. RJ City is really playing this up to her. Yeah. Oh, man. I really like the way RJ's doing that. And now she's got something to do for fucking Luther. What? Now Luther has something to do? Fuck yeah. Good job. I mean, if anybody's elevating talent right now, it's fucking Toni Storm. She's elevating talent.
So we ended the show last night with AEW adding another pay-per-view to the list.
Yes. What was the name of it?
World's End.
World's End.
December 30th.
Yeah. Okay.
Long Island, New York.
Yeah.
Yeah. They're trying to get more revenue. They're trying to add more shows. Mm-hmm. What's your sweet spot for AEW right now? How many shows should they have? Do you see them copying WWE further and doing one a month?
I would hope so. Because I don't think I can handle. There was that one year that WWE did like fucking 16. I was like, oh, this is too much. What was this like? Was this 2019? It was right before the pandemic. They did 16 fucking pay-per-views in 1 year.
They added like, 2 random shows in Saudi on top of the 12-month pay-per-view schedule, and then they did something else.
And I think like because like April.
It was 2019 because that's when Roman did the turn. I think it was SummerSlam, and then like the next week was Payback.
Yeah, that's what it was.
Yeah.
Arnold says what I loved about AEW pay-per-views was quality over quantity.
I agree completely.
I don't want like if you have 13, that's 1 or 2 too much.
I would think the sweet spot.
Daniel, what's up, man? Daniel Price is in the
yo.
You see you in a minute.
Right now, I'd go to 8. Even if they're all on AEW on HBO Max.
Okay.
Because at 12 a year, it's very notable that Vince. We have to remind ourselves this. In effect, Vince McMahon killed the wrestling pay-per-view business.
Okay.
Because we're not paying $30-$40.
Yeah.
It's not that it's
Peacock for
when it's $5 on Peacock. And I think Tony Khan is being aware of this. For anyone that doesn't know, the Final Battle show that's happening in Dallas this year, it's only $10 a month on Honor Club. Mm-hmm. It's not on pay-per-view. It's not going to be on. So that's all it is, just $10. And with that $10, you get 1 month of dipping your feet in whatever the talent is on Ring of Honor right now. I'm pretty sure half that roster I wouldn't know who they were if we were there in December for that show. But you get a chance to get in. But at least at $10, that's Tony Khan starting to go in that positive direction of he's not going to be able to squeeze $60 every month.
Yeah, especially if also you're doing these special episodes of Dynamite and Collision. Yeah. You know, your winter is coming, your title Tuesday, your fight for the fallen, stuff like that. Because they treat those like pay-per-views. Like Title Tuesday.
They give them away for free.
Yeah, Title Tuesday was a free pay-per-view the Tuesday before this Rosenberg Dynamite.
That only had 2 title matches.
Right. But I mean, but still, like that's what they were treating this as a pay-per-view, just the one that you didn't have to pay. But as far as wrestling fan fatigue goes, oh fuck, it's another really, really big show that's on the calendar, and it's like, oh yeah. Like it's too much. It's too much.
8's the sweet spot.
I think you're right, because if you go down to 6 and you have to wait 2 months between every pay-per-view, but then you'll have like your all in, all out situation like we had this past year where it was like a weekend.
And they're doing it again.
Yeah, and that I don't know about.
And there's rumors that they want to create that they want Grand Slam to be an actual pay-per-view in an attempt to try to bring back the audience and make it special, because it is special. It's in the first one sold 20 grand tickets.
Yeah.
20,000 tickets. If you would have made that a pay-per-view, you could have actually sold even more than that.
Yeah.
And that's an attraction for New York.
Yeah.
So
Daniel says they're going to 12 pay-per-views a year plus the specials and everything else. Khan already can't book what he's got worth a damn, and slaps things together. A pay-per-view every month's going to be a train wreck.
Yeah. Woo!
That's strong words. And Arnold said, yeah, that was 2018, 2019. That was because of brand splits. That's why they had Raw pay-per-views and they had SmackDown pay-per-views, and they were really trying to get back to the brand split again.
Yeah.
They already do the Mess Dynamites. that have no meaning, like Fighter Fest and Battle of the Belts. Yeah, exactly. Battle of the Belts, where no belts actually change hands.
Revolution, Double or Nothing, Grand Slam, All In, All Out, Full
Wrestle
Gear,
Dream.
Wrestle Dream, Forbidden Door. That's already at 8.
Okay.
And then if you add Worlds in, that's 9. But if you're coupling All In and All Out as kind of one event because it's weeks back to back.
Well, that's what I said that they should do this past year. Instead of being 2 separate entities, just call it all in or all out, whichever one you rather pick.
All week.
Yeah, and just say, hey, it's a 2-weekend event. Night 1 is Saturday in London. Night 2 is Sunday in Chicago.
Yeah.
Or the next Saturday in Chicago, a week apart, right? And it's a 2-night event, and like have things that affect one affect the other.
Yeah.
Like that's all you need to do. But I don't know. 2 pay-per-views is just too much.
Yeah, especially from what I've heard other people online do. They have a VPN for their internet.
Yeah,
and they could order the pay-per-view off the Fight app overseas at $20.
Oh, chingao.
Yeah, I might actually try that.
Call it All Elite. Okay, cool.
Yeah. Speaking of adding
all
pay-per-views,
chingadera.
speaking of adding pay-per-views,
Yeah.
so is WWE.
Oh shit.
Bash at Berlin. They're going to Germany next
What?
year. They're going to Germany.
What? Really?
Yeah.
I didn't hear about this.
Yes.
Okay.
Yeah.
What? Bash at Berlin?
Yeah.
Okay.
It's in an arena. It's not a stadium. It's in one of their arenas.
Yeah.
I didn't do much research to see how big or whatever it was, but they're actually going out there next year.
Bro, I am all about doing all these international shows.
It gets better.
now. Yeah.
Rumor has it in the internets with a Z.
Yeah.
Backlash is happening in Paris.
Really? At Paris.
Yeah. Oui, monsieur.
Huh.
Sacre bleu.
Sacre bleu.
Yeah. This is the. It's been a while since they put the W, the
Ludwig,
world, in World Wrestling Entertainment.
Ludwig Kaiser is going to get a huge pop in Germany. Yeah. Fucking Gunther.
Yeah.
Gunther. Yeah.
I mentioned this months ago. By this time next year, Gunther's gonna be world champ. And if Gunther's the world champ in Berlin, in Germany,
what if he wins the title in Germany? Oh my God. That's gonna start World
People
War
don't
III.
win in hometowns.
Oh, that's right. What if he loses in Germany? That's gonna start World War III.
Yeah. 3.5. Yeah.
Oh man. Yeah, Arno says he's Austrian, you're racist. Yes, I know. It's close enough.
Impact added.
It's like if a Salvadorian wins in Mexico City.
Yeah, it's close enough. It's close enough. The same kind of brown.
Yeah.
Impact added a
I'm
couple
from Honduras. Shut up, you're Mexican.
Impact added a couple of letters. They're bringing back TNA.
Yes. yes, they are.
I'm guessing the fans there needed something to chant.
Yeah.
To combat AEW.
Yeah.
And New Japan, I guess.
Mm-hmm.
Speaking of Impact,
okay,
we carved out some time before the show.
We did.
And we had a little morsel of Bound for Glory that happened a week or so ago.
Yep.
And on the menu was Chris Sabin versus Kenta.
Yeah.
Go for it.
Dude, that was a badass fucking match, man. I felt like if you told me that Kenta and Sabin were going to have a match, I would say that's going to be a banger. And it wound up being a banger. It met my expectations.
Yeah.
My expectations were high for it.
You were completely whelmed.
I was whelmed.
Yes.
I wasn't overwhelmed. I was whelmed, right?
So
I thought it was really good.
Let's talk about being overwhelmed.
Right.
The main course was
what we saw after that.
Portion of Speedball Mike Bailey versus the aerial assassin Will Ospreay.
Yes.
So while I go get us another refill of our drinks, tell our audience what overwhelmed feels like.
After seeing that first match that we saw, I was like, cool, this is going to be one of those like we just saw. TNA X Division, almost quote unquote super indie style, whatever you want to call it. And yeah, it's Ospreay and a guy that I've been singing the praises of a lot recently, Speedball Mike Bailey. And I'm like, man, I really like Speedball. People are sleeping on Speedball. You need to watch Speedball. And all that being said, I know that like he may not be there because I don't think he's had the quote unquote Dave Meltzer 6-star match before. He's had a lot of, in my opinion, would be 4 and 4.5 stars, maybe flirting with the 5. But that fucking match, even though my expectations were already high, and I feel like so many people are sleeping on Speedball, that fucking match blew my expectation of what I was even expecting. Like, if Meltzer didn't give this a fucking 6, it's because it wasn't in the Tokyo Dome and it was in Chicago. And fuck you, Meltzer. That was a bad-ass fucking match, man.
I think he gave it 5 stars.
Did he? Yeah. Good. It deserves it.
You had the benefit of a dying phone, so you charged it over here, so you had its undivided attention, which you normally don't have when I serve you things
right
here at the house before we get on the table. You were making some reactions that Randy and Porch would recognize.
Yeah, both you and I were like, oh, ooh, oh, fuck. Like we were reacting to this match because there were some moves they were pulling out that just looked fucking brutal.
It wasn't just the moves.
Yeah.
For it being like 18 or 20 minutes, their pace was fast.
Dude.
I haven't seen Ospreay wrestle a pace like that in a while. This match, I haven't had feelings about this match since we saw Kenta versus Davey Richards at Ring of Honor WrestleMania weekend.
Oh,
that pace of this.
Yeah.
That's the first thing I thought of going through this match, to the point where the match I think was past halfway, and I looked at you, I was like, I don't really save this for afterwards, but
and
then you replied like,
yeah, you don't even have to say it.
So
yeah,
it's fucking official.
Yeah.
We have an other category for the independents, which Impact is categorized under.
Yeah.
And before we even recorded tonight, I put Will Ospreay versus Mike Bailey on our list for Match of the Year candidacy, which makes 3 actual matches that at some point Will Ospreay's had. We had Ospreay versus Omega for New Japan at Wrestle Kingdom, which you and I and Hector booted for Ospreay versus Naito. And then now we have Ospreay versus Speedball. Yeah.
Arnold says his name is just too wacky, man. I mean, I guess
Ospreay Naito Climax G1.
Yeah, Ospreay Naito. I guess. I mean, if you don't really know Speedball, like if you don't see him and his presentation and stuff, like I kind of get it. You just think it's a wacky name.
He's drugs personified. Now I know that if I snort a Speedball, I'm gonna look just like Mike Bailey.
You make it sound like his gimmick is that he's like a fucking drug overdose dude. He's not.
No,
like
he's fat.
He's like a fucking
martial artist.
He's a martial artist. He's like a throwback to like 80s martial arts gimmick wrestlers. That's why I think the Speedball name works, because that kind of sounds like something that would have came out of the 80s, not because of the drug.
And there was enough in Ospreay's repertoire that he played off of Mike Bailey very well.
Oh yeah,
very well, countering some of the kicks that they were doing.
Bro,
there was some martial arts stuff that I have not seen in a pro wrestling ring that they made believable.
I'm gonna say this.
Look at this arm.
I'm gonna say this, and some people are gonna say that this is cliche, but I mean this in all sincerity, and I also mean it as a compliment. It felt like the scene in the Matrix in the dojo when Fishborn and Neo are first like fighting, and he's trying to show Neo like, this is the Matrix. You think that's air you're breathing? Like when they're like trying to do the fucking martial arts shit, and he's like pulling his punches like right from. There was literally a kick that he stopped. That Speedball threw.
Leaned back.
It was like right here, and also had to lean back.
And it stood still for like a second,
long
enough for you to have that image seared in your head. It's like, whoa,
whoa. You know,
that
like,
standing kick he does
Yeah.
is the closest thing I'll ever see to a real life Tatsumaki Senpuya from Street Fighter, from Ken and Ryu. That's the closest living thing I'm gonna see to it, and it's fucking boss. Yeah.
Arnold says, "Where can I watch this match?" Well, it was
on the internet.
It was on pay-per-view. It was Bound for Glory, which is that Impact's biggest show of the year?
Yes,
that's their
big
WrestleMania.
show.
Yeah. So it was on there, which was this past weekend.
So you will get the opportunity, hopefully, if you carve out enough time, so that when we do our end of the year review, you'll get to watch it with us.
Yeah, that's true too. Yeah. Porsche and I this close to ordering Bound for Glory. This close to no.
You know me, right?
Yeah.
I was this close
to going.
I had general admission bleacher seats in my cart. I was this close to going
to Chicago.
To Chicago again for another fucking wrestling show, which would have probably topped the return of Punk when I went to Collision.
Yeah,
but it turned out not to happen how I thought it would have. But
and there was something that was said on commentary by Reinhold that was, this match feels like it's for a title even though it's not.
Yeah.
And I didn't realize that there was a lot of history between the two, which commentary helped fill in the blanks for me a little bit, that apparently they have known each other for like years and years and trained together and this and that. And
they've had 3 matches.
Yeah.
But it always took a little bit longer for Ospreay to beat him.
Yeah.
And
yeah. And now
the commentary, I've been trying to, but I haven't watched enough Impact. I still have the 1,000 episode on my DVR, by the way, still. Yeah. And they're a refreshing combination on commentary.
Oh yeah, I really like Reinhold. I like him a lot.
Yeah.
But yeah, the other point that he had brought up was that all those 3 other matches, none of them were in Speedball's home home promotion. Yeah. Well, not country because he's from Canada, but none of them were in his home promotion, which is here in Impact. Yeah. Right, they were all overseas in Japan or in the UK. Right, so that was like, oh, maybe he has a home turf advantage here, which was neat.
Yeah,
and that's the crowd.
Ask the Astros about home turf advantage. God damn. Can't win them all. I'm still rooting for Arizona.
Oh yeah, fuck South Oklahoma Rangers. I'm rooting for Arizona. Go Snakes. Jeez.
If Philadelphia would have won it, I would have just said, fuck it. I'm rooting for the Rockets.
Yeah, like, oh no.
I'm done with baseball.
The 2020 World Series doesn't exist, and the 2023 World Series wouldn't have existed if it was Rangers versus Phillies. Yeah. Like, no.
Yeah. That freaking match, man.
Arnold says, go Texans.
I might watch it. Well, CJ is looking like the guy that we wanted him to be.
And you know who else I'm very proud of that's looking pretty good? PJ Walker.
Our old kid from the Roughnecks.
From the Roughnecks. Yeah. He's over in
he was in Carolina.
Yeah, but he's over in Cleveland now. Oh, okay. And he's doing pretty good in Cleveland. Yeah, so good on him.
All right.
Yeah.
That fucking match, bro.
Yeah, I was right there with you. I was like, this match has me astounded. So yeah, definitely match of the year worthy under the other promotions category.
Yeah, so it's there.
So we have a WWE, AEW, a New Japan, and the rest.
We have one of everything right now.
Okay.
We have Ospreay versus Naito semifinals from the G1 Japan. For New Japan. As of now, Trish Stratus versus Becky Lynch, steel cage match from WWE. MJF versus Adam Cole,
baby,
from All In, and we have Ospreay versus Mike Bailey from Impact.
Wow. Okay. All right. Here we go.
That's a pretty interesting list. Mm-hmm. I'm kind of proud that there's still a women's match on this list that dethroned another women's match that was on the list.
Yeah, that's true.
Yeah,
we have yet to have a women's match be the match of the year. We came this close, and in hindsight, it should have been.
You're gonna die on that hill, aren't you?
It should have been
Sasha Bailey
from Takeover,
and I'm still gonna tell you
that
Iron Woman was better.
But we didn't vote that. We voted for the fucking Grave Consequences match from Lucha Underground that year, which in hindsight, I think it should have been Sasha Bailey.
That was something different. That was something beautiful.
Yeah.
That was fun. Yeah.
Yeah, Arnold says 2015 should have been Sasha Bailey.
Well, you weren't here in 2015.
He said Becky versus Lyra was great on Tuesday.
Well,
Flash. What's up, Flash?
Thank you for the transition. I was going to round out our match of the week candidacy list with night 1 of Halloween Havoc. Lynch versus Valkyria was a damn good main event.
All right.
That whole show, go ahead because I've got some stuff to say.
Hold that thought.
Go.
Flash, what's up, Flash? In the live chat. Took my 8-year-old to his first show, AEW Dynamite.
Yo!
And other than making the mistake of buying floor seats, we were able to move and enjoy the show. Yeah, I hope you moved up to where we were.
When you're in row 20 on the floor, you ain't seeing shit.
Yeah.
And if half of the action's on the floor, you ain't seeing shit.
Right. Yeah. You got to be in the risers.
So, Flash, we're going to do a quick detour real quick, a little icebreaker. Flash, everybody in the chat room, your first wrestling show that you attended. What was your first wrestling show that you attended?
My first wrestling show. WrestleMania X7.
What?
Yeah.
2001 was your first show?
Well, if you don't count indies, if you count actual like big promotions, that's it. If you count indies, then it was like the myriad of fucking lucha shows that were at the flea market that my dad had a jewelry store at, and then one show that was put on by Marty Jannetty of all people, that was put on in Pasadena.
So you had a rough start.
Yeah. But if you wanted to count like WWE, WCW, all that, my very, very first one, besides the Marty Jannetty and all the lucha shows, was WrestleMania X7.
My first wrestling show, from as far as I can remember, my first wrestling show, WWF, No Way Out of Texas, 98. My dad was like, I'm going to take you to this show as long as you cut your hair, because I was growing my hair out long. And so, yeah, I did.
He bribed you with wrestling?
Yeah.
To cut your hair?
And
to be an upstanding
which was weird because I'd already bought the tickets and I was working then at Fiesta, so I used my own money. I had the leverage. I had all the leverage. I could have taken the bus and sat by myself. But he wanted to go. And, so we wound up going. And then the best part was, for a long time, I had bought a shirt there at the show, which I still haven't found, and Jaime has never gotten a hold of one. It's a Stone Cold shirt that says "Other Side Jackass," and on the other side it has the skeleton, half metal thing, and Stone Cold on it.
Yeah.
I remember I got suspended once because I took it to school, and I hid it from my mother ever since. Nice. She had no idea that's why I got suspended. So then later on in the year, she just thought I was off school for a day. And so later on in the year, when I went back to Monday Night Raw, November 2nd, 98, because I'm a fucking Rain Man when it comes to wrestling, I bought the Blood from a Stone Austin 316. I was in red, and I hid that from her for fucking years. I still have it. It's shrunk and the sleeves are torn off. I have that.
You don't need to hide it now?
I don't need to hide it now, yeah. But back, I needed to hide this. And it's shrunk over time. It's just like a large.
Dude, this shirt, it's shrunk on me.
Oh man.
Daniel says house show for the first War Games tour. Main event was a cage match.
Holy shit, you're old.
Main event was a cage match with 4 Horsemen versus Nikita Koloff, Dusty, and the Road Warriors.
Yeah.
Wow.
Nice.
Arnold says his first show was a random. Hold on. Again, same thing like me. Lucha Libre shows at the Arena Monterrey in Mexico.
Oh, damn.
Or
you're a wall jumper. I didn't know that.
Yeah, he is.
Dang.
And then he said his first show was supposed to be No Way Out of Texas, but my brother took his friend instead of me.
Damn.
His first real show was a random Monday Night Raw in 2014. It was right before SummerSlam. Flash says indie shows at the Banquet Hall in Harrisburg and Canal. Fuck yes. Okay, so the flea market was on Harrisburg and 75th. The warehouse is behind what used to be a KFC there. Now that KFC isn't there anymore because there's a KFC in the churches. The KFC's gone.
Oh my God, I remember that.
The churches is still there, but it's broken down. Behind where that KFC was, there was a flea market, pulga, a warehouse, right? And that's where they would have Lucha Libre. sometimes. But yeah. It
rad.
says the canal that used to bring all the big names from Mexico. Hijo del Santo. Yes, Aviso Negro. I was in wrestling heaven and didn't even know it back then. Yeah. Hector says his first wrestling show, flea market wrestling show. Of course. Fucking Pulgas, man. The Lucha Libre grew up in the Pulgas, dude.
So you must have felt like a little kid when we got tickets to see Lucha Underground at Traders Village.
Oh, that was so badass, dude. That was a great day. He says his first mainstream show was Raw in 1998. His first wrestling shirt.
Raw 98 was that November show. I'll tell you, I hope you remember this. The show ended, the show story, the thread throughout the show, the whole show was Kane getting turned on by Paul Bearer. So Kane was loose and he was just showing up randomly and choke slamming people left and right. And that show at the end of November 98 ended with Steve Austin and The Undertaker inside a cage. Kane walked out to the ramp, did his arm thing, and like some parts of the cage was set on fire. Wow. And the three of them are wrestling in the cage. Raw goes off the air and Stone Cold's riding Vince McMahon's wheelchair down the ramp.
Nice.
And yeah, if that's the show, you're gonna be like, this motherfucker.
He says that his first shirt was Stone Cold with the rattlesnake.
That's a 99 shirt.
Yeah.
Yeah, don't trust anybody. Yeah.
Whew, that was a nice little detour, man. That was a good detour. All right, I'm sorry. Back to where we were. You were going to bring up something else.
Rattle, R-A-T-T-L-E. He's trying. Hector's
the
trying.
Pinche Mexicano.
Yeah, sure.
Don't know how to spell shit.
It's a snake that goes. So,
Este güey.
That was a solid night one.
Pues el pinche rattlesnake. Sí, Hector, el rattle. Se tiene un rattle. El rattlesnake. Güey.
Solid night one of Halloween Havoc. It was mostly a girls' night. 5 out of the 7 matches were girls.
Yeah.
The semifinals for the breakout tournament. Lola Vice and Karen Petrovic had flashes of Osprey Speedball because both had MMA and kickboxing experience. So they were having those stances. And halfway through the match, because I saw this with Scott, he's like, dude, it looks like they're shooting live rounds. it was ugly, but not like botchy ugly. It was ugly like, that's not the kind of wrestling I'm used to, but you kept looking. Like, that was fun.
Serpiente de Cascabel.
Chase U got the tag titles off the Italians. Yeah, Chase U, that was good.
Pasta Primavera.
The finals is what I expected. Is the two youngest girls in NXT that have the most TV exposure. So it's Kaylani, the girl that was under the tutelage of Dana Brooke before she left.
Oh, okay, yeah.
Cute young girl. She had a little Spider-Gwen outfit for her match.
Yeah, okay.
And then Lola Vice, who's partnering up with Electra Lopez.
Finger looking good? So,
usually it's just these two.
Hi.
What else happened?
Eventually you get 4 in there.
I need to take notes when we're done. We ended with Becky Lynch versus Lyra Valkyria. And the only thing that stuck into my craw a bit was, I know what they're trying to do with trying to raise ratings as well as putting people over. We're supposed to be looking at it as they're putting people over, but on the business end, they're looking at it as we're selling our TV rights to Raw and NXT as a bundle. We need to raise these ratings so that we can get more revenue on the back end. So I know what they're trying to do. And as a wrestling fan, it was hard for me to disconnect the fact that we have Becky Lynch, who's the NXT Women's Champion, who main evented WrestleMania, a history-making main event of WrestleMania, who's going to lose to, for all intents and purposes, no disrespect, a rookie on free television in front of 400 people. I couldn't buy that. Like, if this would have happened at Deadline, they're having Deadline in front of a live 4,000, 5,000 seat audience. If you would have saved it for that, at least it would have held more meaning as opposed to just free television, no revenue, no anything that comes out of it.
Yeah.
From a sense, whether it's a business sense or a fan sense. I think as a fan, you might have had more of a reaction to Lyra with a 3 or 4 week build of how it's the biggest fight in Scotland or whatever because the two girls are from the same country and they one group idolizing the other. Maybe a nice fiery promo of like, I'm not doing this out of hatred, but I see you as the best woman in the world. What does that make me when I beat you? Some kind of actual build to this, so you could actually have gotten some like bear some fruit of it, as opposed to just NXT television, Halloween Havoc, night 1. It just, but that all that garbage aside, the match was great.
Okay,
it was good. I liked it a lot, and there were some spots where, like, if I would have had that build of the two of them, she was countering a lot of Becky's stuff, and it looked really good.
Who the fuck is okay? Arnold said Roxy versus Knothead was good. Who the fuck is Knothead?
Roxy wrestled. Who did she wrestle? Oh, she wrestled Kiana James. So Kiana James, she has 4 or 5 different business titles to make her feel proper. She has a cool entrance, like the helicopter comes down on the video, and then when the door opens up, she walks out from the entrance. She's got it. I haven't been watching enough to see her character fleshed out, but I like what I see. They call her Knothead because she hit the post so hard that she had a zip code growing out of her forehead.
Oh, I saw the picture of that.
Yes.
I was like, damn, I don't know who that is, but that hurt.
And the sexiest Freddy Krueger you have ever seen.
Yeah.
Roxy.
Yeah, I have seen that. Oh, yeah.
Yeah. Dude, Shotzi's costumes were on point. She came out as Pinhead from fucking Hellraiser.
Arnold said Shotzi is living her best life.
Shotzi and Scarlett next to her. Man, if Carrion plays his cards right, that's gonna be one happy camper. But they had some cool costume changes in between, and inserting themselves into segments. I think the two of them work very well together. Throw them together as a tag team.
Okay,
have them wrestle.
Yeah, actually have a women's tag team that actually could be a threat.
Yeah,
to the
Piper Niven and Chelsea.
They ain't doing nothing with those damn belts.
Yeah, well, they're defending them next week. We'll get to that in a second. So you were talking earlier about how Tony Storm is so good, they're making you care about Luther or giving Luther work.
Yeah.
Bro, I know we're fast forwarding a bit to our end of the year, but most improved has to fucking be Von Wagner. Okay. The stuff they're doing with Robert Stone, Scott rewound it a couple of weeks ago and showed me the promo where Robert Stone stood up to Breaker and actually challenged him to a match. And then as soon as he finished the sentence, he had it look like what the fuck did I just do? Dude, and then like he's getting Von Wagner built back up because he's starting in rehab right now because he got fucked up by Ron Breaker.
Yeah.
I'm very excited. There's some good dude. There's a lot more hints of old school black and gold NXT going on right now with the kids that we aren't familiar with. There's some real good stuff going on in NXT right now.
Okay.
I can see where we had the conversation driving back where from what was the fucking show we went to out of town?
Great American Bash.
Yeah, Bash. Where he's like, you know what? I'm gonna give AEW a break and I'm gonna just stick to NXT as the only thing I watch from WWE in general. I see why. That? He did. Who? Scott did.
Scott said that.
Yeah, Dynamite was his bon voyage of of AEW.
Yeah.
And I get it. The NXT product is coming back around. There's low key. There's a lot of hits there. Lexis King was a choice.
I saw the picture and I was like, I kind of dig it.
Yeah.
I saw the picture of his title card and him walking out.
The only nit I have to pick, and it isn't so much a nit to pick, it just felt awkward, was we already get it from the promos that have been hyping you up to this debut. I didn't need his first words walking down the ring to say, Brian Pillman is dead. I fucking get it. You know, it's kind of like beating a dead horse. I don't know if that's something that was necessary.
Would it have been better if it came from Christian?
Yes! Yes, when Christian said Ric Flair should have died 20 years ago, I was like, might be right.
You know, okay, Portia said this when we were watching it, and she was like, oh God, is Christian going to come out and do a reverse on Flair and be like, your son is dead?
Oh, fuck.
Could you imagine if Christian did? Like, you're the dad.
We're so fucked up that we're laughing at this.
Oh my God, that would have been terrible.
Yeah.
Fuck.
You know what that would make us?
What?
Fucking terrible.
That would make us terrible. Arnold says, yeah, I didn't hate Lexus King, but yeah, that sentence was unnecessary. Yeah.
The only thing that I would twitch a little bit is I would like Nexus King to be the absolute opposite of what Brian Pillman was.
Mm-hmm.
No, none of that. None of basically whatever wrestling style Junior had in AEW, ditch it. Brawler, ground and pounder, grappler a little bit. Don't do the flying Brian. Don't do the stuff that Pillman did in the cruiserweight that got him over.
Yeah.
Don't be the wild loose cannon that made him the loose cannon when he showed up in WWE. So I kind of like when he slid out on that throne and he's just like chilling, like the complete opposite of what crazy ass his daddy was, But again, this is only the first match. I'm sure they'll have time to flesh it out and do tweaks and maybe he can actually talk. But he had a presence there that I hadn't seen at all in AEW out of Pillman. Well, we should start acknowledging him as Lexus King, right?
Yeah,
Lexus King. Yeah, there's a lot of potential there. I like where this is going. Yeah. Mm-hmm. Which brings us this week, night 2 of Halloween Havoc, which is pretty stacked too. So Fallon Henley, I'm not sure if you know this. Fallon Henley is the cowgirl chick that hangs out with the two cowboy guys.
That sounds like a rodeo to me.
There you go. Yeah. The hog tying cost you double. She had a Tiffany Stratton costume on, and it was mimicking Tiffany Stratton quite well, to the point where I was like, who the fuck is this? Tiffany Stratton versus Fallon Henley. That's happening. Chelsea Green and Piper Niven are defending the women titles against tag titles.
Chelsea Green
against Thea Hale and JC Jane from Chase U.
Yeah.
Give me a number for this. I'm not sure if you're familiar with this guy, Nathan Frazier. He was pretty big in NXT UK.
Was he in Diamond Mine?
No.
Oh
no.
Okay.
Nathan Frazier gets a title shot at Dirty Dom's North American title.
Shit. I don't know enough about Frazier Crane over here. So I don't know if I could give this any fair rating. But you said he was a UK guy?
Yeah, but he's been on NXT for a while.
Okay.
I'm giving it an 8.
An 8?
I don't need a reason. I'm gonna just boot Dominic Mysterio. Rhea Ripley.
Of course.
She's everyone's mommy.
Yes.
Yeah. He said, you can make jokes about your mom because your mom's dead. I'm like, no, she's not.
That's her right there. Her name is Rhea.
Yeah. Spin the wheel, make a deal. The Creed brothers against Los Lotharios. Tables, ladders, and scares. Tables, ladders, and chairs match. Then we've also got the finals of the breakout tournament for the ladies. Kaylani Jordan's her name, and then Lola Vice is her opponent.
Okay.
Yeah. Braun Breaker against Mr. Stone.
Okay.
That's gonna be fun. Breaker's killing him, obviously. But this is gonna bring out souped up babyface Von Wagner. He's gonna get a huge pop, and we're all gonna be like, God damn it, Shawn Michaels. You can't see straight, but you got a good enough view of Von Wagner. It's good. I will need a number for this. Ilya Dragunov, Carmelo Hayes, 3.
Oh,
for the NXT men's title.
9.5. What's keeping me from the 10 is it's part 3.
The rubber match.
Yeah, and I don't know. Maybe I've only seen 2. I don't think I saw 1. I think I only saw part 2.
We were live for 1.
We were live for part 1. Okay, so we saw part 1. We didn't see. I didn't see part 2.
Well, he beat him for the belt.
Okay. And I'm kind of like, I already feel like it might be too much. I don't know, but I think it's going to be a badass match. The match that I did see was really good. But maybe that's just how much I'm disconnected from NXT is why I'm not at a 10. But give me your number.
I'm at a 9.5 also. I think I have the same problem, the same nit to pick as you, that it's happened so fast. And it's hard to have this opinion, but damn, did Okada Omega do it right, because they spaced those matches out to the fact that they had a 4th one and it still felt fresh. That was no time limit.
Okay.
2 out of 3 falls, no time limit.
Well, I
So
think
having these 3 matches, the first one was in July, and then the second one was like in late August, and now we're having this third one.
I think you just answered Hector's question that he put in there. Why are you hating on a part 3? Didn't Okada versus Omega 3 make a match of the year?
Yeah, that's it.
Yeah. Okay.
Okay. Space.
Yeah.
But
we're also talking about anticipation,
Yeah.
not fuck, that match was exceeded my.
Here's why I'm not at a 10. Booker fucking T. Does that help?
Hector also asked, who do you think will be taking the title off of Dom? Is it going to be this guy?
No. So they're trying to do something with Frazier where he has his own little like mini, not so much like a talk show segment with other wrestlers, but kind of like this CNN 5-minute thing where he like wraps up, like discusses stuff from the week.
Mm-hmm.
Last week tonight, basically.
Okay.
With Nathan Frazier or whatever, but he has some hard-hitting truths or whatever it's called. So they're trying to do something different with him to try to put him over to the audience.
Mm-hmm.
Is him getting the NXT North American title put him in that next level? I don't think so. I'm not sure where this kid's been, but ultimately I would like the payoff to be him losing the belt back to Wesley. I don't know where Wesley's been. I don't know if he's hurt or if he's off television or something happened, but I want to see that. I want to see Dom drop it back to him.
Okay.
And I don't think it should be for a while. I think Dom is actually elevating this title.
That's fair.
Yeah, I'm liking. I keep booing Dom.
Is Noam Dar anywhere near ready for that?
So Noam Dar is trying. He's in this group called Metaphor.
Metaphor. I like Metaphor.
Which is quite unique.
I like Metaphor.
And so they had something, because it's Halloween Havoc, they had this segment where they were doing a photo shoot, and Akira Tozawa just sneaks up from behind and takes the trophy because he's that British League title, the Heritage Cup champion. So he's carrying the trophy around. Tozawa just took it from him. And they're all selling it like, what's the trophy? And so then Akira puts a video online for them to see. He's like, if you want this back, come get it. And he's in that haunted house that they use every year for Halloween Havoc. So Metaphor is going to go through this haunted house, all 4 of them, the 2 girls included.
Yes.
And they're actually going to try to get this trophy back.
Nice.
So apparently they're doing stuff with Tozawa on Raw too. He's like trying to join Alpha Academy.
Yeah.
And I saw a picture of him wearing Otis's 3XL, 4XL shirt. He's all like,
it's the power of Tozawa.
Yeah. The NXT stuff is really getting good.
All right.
That's next week. That's night 2.
Tuesday.
Yeah, Tuesday.
Cool.
In the meantime, couple more things before we wrap this up.
Okay.
I already mentioned earlier. Give me a number. Kyle Fletcher, Konosuke Takeshita, Rampage.
8.
8.
I think this could be a sleeper good match.
It's going to make you watch Rampage? You're going to watch this? Or are you going to watch the match, not necessarily the whole show?
No.
You're not going to watch this?
I might treat this as, let's see what the internet says. And then if like Chris and everybody is like, oh man, you got to watch this match, and I'll watch it. I think it's going to be good, but I think it's also Rampage. So there's a chance that it's going to be like 10 minutes, maybe
Commercial
shenanigans, commercial break. You know, like if this was on Dynamite or Collision or on a pay-per-view, they're going to give this match,
15 minutes,
15 to 18, maybe even 20, right? And it's going to be for stakes. Yeah. Right. Yeah. This it might further the storyline, which would be interesting, but I think I don't think it's appointment viewing. Right. Still an 8, still very high for all the shit that I just said that makes me not want to watch it. But I don't think I'm gonna, like, if I'm not already plopped down in front of the telly, hey, let's watch Rampage, I'm not going out and seeking Rampage.
Got you.
Yeah.
So with Punk gone, do you still consider Collision appointment viewing?
Okay.
That kind of answers the question.
It wasn't appointment viewing for me because of Punk.
Okay.
It was appointment viewing because it was a good show. I still think it's a good show, but I quickly realized Saturday night is too precious for me to waste on wrestling. So Unless I hear, hey, you got to watch this from Collision, I'm not. Unless you get something like
MJF versus Omega for the world title.
Oh, MJF Omega makes me question my choices.
And you've made several
yeah.
questionable choices.
Yeah. I'm ready to give you a number on that one. 10.
What the
fuck? 10. Omega MJF. Especially after what we saw MJF do in the ring there for Juice. God, I just love this run MJF has been on in the ring for the last year, because Double or Nothing 2 years ago, him versus Wardlow, his whole thing was that he was such a chicken shit heel because he can't wrestle. But god damn it, he was hiding this entire fucking time that he can wrestle. He was just holding back and holding back and holding back so that he could be old school and like, fuck, this guy can go.
Yeah.
And like, almost every time that I see MJF in the ring, I'm more and more impressed with him. Him versus Juice was a fucking banger.
The first 30 minutes of AEW involved MJF.
Mm-hmm.
That was a lot. You have to be a hardcore fan to take in everything that happened in those first 30 minutes.
And right now, MJF is my favorite wrestler.
Wow.
MJF's my favorite right now. Fucking love MJF. And then him versus probably the best wrestler from AEW, quote unquote. You know, I know it's debatable, right? Mm-hmm. But like,
let's debate it now. We got plenty of time.
But like, Kenny Omega is like the reason why AEW even was a thing, because of how fucking popular he was with the Bullet Club, and like, it's called All Elite Wrestling because his faction in Bullet Club was called the Elite.
Yeah.
Right. So him fighting MJF will further legitimize MJF's run as long as he has a good ass match with Kenny.
I'm at a 9.5. The half is that this isn't going to be fully fleshed out. Okay. I'm a jaded wrestling fan. I know where this is going. He already has a match with Jay White at Full Gear. I don't see AEW as the kind of company so far where they're going to swerve us by, oh shit, now we got to change the main event match to this because Omega beat MJF, or now we got to do a triple threat. And then next week, oh shit, Samoa Joe beat Omega, so now we got to change this. And then the Wednesday or Saturday before the pay-per-view, Jesus Christ, we got to switch it to this because all this happened within 3 weeks. And AEW's not going to do that. It'd be crazy. It'd be interesting, but they're not going to do it. Okay. All ships are sailing towards MJF versus Jay White at Full Gear. So Jay White and the Bullet Club Gold are gonna fuck with this.
Yeah, and that's kind of what everybody's saying in the live chat. Tango says MJF versus Omega is rushed, and you know damn good and well Omega's not winning.
Yeah, and not to mention asterisk card subject to change. We could always get this changed to an 8-man or something or another tag match, you know. And you. So if Jay White and the Bullet Club Gold are gonna do some poppycock crap to interfere in this match, you're gonna wait this long to acknowledge that there's two different leaders of two different Bullet Clubs, and you're not gonna bring back 8 years of New Japan history into this now for a random episode of Collision on that's building up to a match with other people that Omega's not involved in, you know. And so that there was a lot to take in that MJF segment,
right?
Because he had the match with Juice, he beat Juice, he got jumped afterwards. The Kingdom and Roderick Strong attempted to save him. That lasted about 5 seconds.
Yeah.
And then the Acclaim came out to try and save them. And then MJF's like, fuck, I'm not teaming with y'all. And he turns to Acclaim, fuck, I'm not teaming with y'all. So he goes to the ring, and Omega's there, and I'm thinking, MJF and the fucking Elite.
Yeah.
What the fucking fuck? And instead, Omega's like, I want my title shot. Like, oh, come on.
He's like, get my name out your mouth.
Come on.
Yeah.
You could have had a lot of intrigue building up to the fuck with Bullet Club Gold against Bullet Club New Japan or the Elite.
Yeah.
Or the Elite.
Yeah.
Or the scumbag Elite.
Yeah.
He could have done some crazy shit.
The scummy Elite.
Yeah.
Hector says that match is going to be interrupted by the Devil. And what if the Devil is David Finlay? Another Bullet Club leader.
wasn't thinking David Finlay. But that mask wasn't hiding all that hair, so it couldn't have been him.
Daniel says Cole is the one in the devil mask. They're greatly exaggerating the ankle. You could tell Strong was one of the guys that jumped Jay White because you could see the neck brace through the clothes.
I don't think you need to have David Finlay under a devil mask because he has no association to it. I think the way Bullet Club Gold is going as of now, you can do Bullet Club New Japan versus Bullet Club Gold at Forbidden Door, and the fans will be over with Bullet Club Gold. They'll be the tweeners to cheer for compared to David Finlay's group of, what is it? Fale, Kenta, Evil, one of the twins. I don't know if it's Show or Yo. One of them are in the fucking Bullet Club now. Fuck it. I would rather just see Ace Austin and fucking
Bay
and Chris Bay.
ABC.
Yeah.
What does the A mean in ABC?
I don't fucking know.
It's not American Bullet Club, is it?
I hope not.
Okay.
Yeah. But I don't know. That's a lot to take in.
Yeah.
So yeah, 9.5. I'm recording it, so I'm gonna make an effort to watch it. I've been falling back a little bit on these.
I kind of feel like that's what's putting it over the top for me to make this episode of Collision appointment viewing.
Yeah.
I might need to actually watch this episode of Collision. Because what's going on with MJF.
Next week on Dynamite.
Mm-hmm.
Since we're transitioning, give me a number. 8-man tag, Bullet Club Gold against MJF and blank, blank, blank.
I'm so intrigued. I had a 9.
Yeah.
It really depends on who's the blank, blank, blank. But I kind of want it to go ahead and be the Acclaimed, but I don't think it's going to be the Acclaimed and Daddy Ass.
I kind of want it to be Roderick Strong in freaking Kingdom. Like the story made sense.
I mean,
like,
what if it actually is the Elite?
Oh fuck! After what happens on Collision, it has to be.
Or after what happens on Collision, the Hung Elite or the Hung Bucks. I'm sorry, the Hung Bucks, Hangman and the Bucks, not the Elite. Hangman and the Bucks.
Oh man, dude. We have to have an all-out culminating with fucking MJF versus Hangman because they've had a rivalry since fucking...
ABC means Ace and Bay connection. I thought it was like American Bullet Club. I just couldn't figure out the A.
I'm assuming that's
Hector. Well, because that's Hector. Because it is Bullet Club. They are Bullet Club, but okay. Anyway.
Fuck, man. I'm at a 9. Next week's Dynamite definitely appointment viewing.
Or MJF brings his buddies from MLW, the Dynasty.
Nah, that's not happening. As much as I liked the dynamic between MJF and Richard Holiday right now, for anybody that hasn't been watching, is doing basically the MJF in MLW. He's like bulking up. He's actually got his own confidence and charisma. He's one of the best things about MLW right now.
And I think that's too much of a deep cut as far as like a reference goes. Like a lot of people are going to be like, who? What? Who the fuck? Hell, I'm going to be like, who? You know? So.
And then if you have him be your partner just for him to turn on you and just easily say, well, I've been in your shadow for so long. Now
and MJF already has enough enemies. Like, yeah, hey.
I kind of like he has all these enemies.
I kind of like it too because it's a little different.
We're supposed to cheer him, but it's almost like an Avengers situation where they're fighting villains that they themselves created.
It's like, this is what your assholery.
Damn it, Tony! We didn't need Ultron. Now we got to deal with that. Yeah.
Most AEW watchers are already like, who? What? Anyways.
Yeah.
Well, Hammerstone is a free agent, says Hector. Yeah.
Yeah, but Hammerstone has a style of wrestling that definitely suits WWE a whole lot more than AEW. He has a body that suits WWE a lot more than AEW. Dude, if Hammerstone and Fatu end up on fucking WWE, that might be like a clincher.
Okay.
We also have Orange Cassidy against Claudio Castagnoli for the
Arnold
international
says,
title.
Who?
Of course. Yeah, Arnold. Oh, he doesn't have enough time in the day.
I know.
He'll never have enough time in the day to get caught up. Yeah, it's already done.
Yeah.
Orange against Claudio for the international title.
7.
7.
Yeah. I don't think Claudio's winning it. I mean, if he does, that'll be an interesting surprise. But Orange, I think taking the title off of Orange in the first place was a little bit of a mistake. But the interestingness is with Orange and Mox, surprisingly, considering how much I don't like Mox. But that's sort of the intrigue is with him and Mox, not with him and Claudio. Yeah. Claudio feels like a mini boss before he gets back to Mox.
Yeah. For anyone that watched AEW last night, answer a question for me: did Okada knock Danielson's eyeball out of its socket? Because that's what he was selling it like his face was gone.
Man, when you said that in our group chat this morning, I was like, did I fucking miss that? Because I was kind of dozing off in that match.
That was a very awkward. That was a very awkward and interesting ending of Dynamite with everyone just standing around looking. Did Brian get fucking hurt again in an Okada match? And Okada looking at him like, "I'll do it again."
Oh god, yeah, the Rainmaker,
yeah,
the Painmaker.
I believe
the dead Daniel Bryan maker,
Dragon Killer.
Unless
you have anything else.
How
was WrestleFon?
WrestleFestival. Oh well, okay. WrestleFestival and WrestleThon both happened. WrestleFestival was great. It was silly and funny, just like how WrestleFestival should be. But we also had a match that kind of stole the show because they got like fucking serious with it. And that was Chris Carter versus Justin Tyler. And Chris Carter is the PWF champion. So he was like, hey, this match is for the PWF title. Because, of course, we were there at the warehouse on Harrisburg. Yeah. That's where PWF normally runs, the Houston Premier Arena. Yeah. So they're like, well, we're here. You're here. I got my title. Boom. And that match was fucking fire. But, yeah, the WrestleFestival itself, the matches for that normally, that was cool. Dono still is the WrestleFestival Galactic Champion.
Of course he is.
Yeah. He was able to.
He's learning from Jeff Jarrett and fucking. Yeah.
He was able to defend He was able to defend his title against Captain Custody, who
Captain Custody,
who at some point was able to do a bit of a costume change and fool everybody, coming out looking like Grandmama Larry Johnson. Like we didn't think it was him, but it was him, and he hit somebody in the back of the head with the purse.
He should have served the papers.
Yeah, but the big surprise is that the third person in that triple threat match, which is a Romero Red, actually pulled a double cross and actually stabbed not only Lancer in the back, but also surprised the hell out of Custody. Because you would think if anybody stabs Lancer in the back, they're joining Custody's faction of the Just Us Society. Well, no, him and his little crew of miscreants that he dug up fucking jumped the Justice Society as well. So like, what the hell? So now there's like a new faction, and Romero Red, while I was on commentary, came over to me and said, hey, it's my time. It's my turn now. I was like, oh shit. So we're gonna see what happens with the WrestleFestival going forward next year. Yearly event.
I got a message late last week that WrestleThon was coming back for another year, since it's been on pause since 2019, raising money for children's hospitals.
Yes.
So they can have toys.
Yeah, toys and
I showed up for a little bit on Saturday
after
work.
Yes, and I heard.
Dabbled for a little bit on, I forgot what, the 2019 SmackDown versus Raw. Had a couple of our listeners that watch us.
Yeah.
I popped in the chat, was asking me questions like, give us some more bad hot takes. So I have no bad hot takes. I have hot takes. I have no bad ones. It's all subjective.
If they're hot, they're probably bad.
Yeah. Or rotten.
Yeah.
And then you tagged in on Sunday.
That's right. I showed up on Sunday. I had a grand old time there from like 11 till the feed ended, which was around 7. And yeah, it was
you
fun.
got to play with Brennan and
No, I didn't. I thought you did.
No.
Well, because I heard that Brennan took over on Saturday. It must have been after y'all went to bed. That's what my guess is. But yeah, right. Brennan and Manny, aka Marseille and Mansour, Mansour, Marseille and Mansour, they took over the feed for a little while, which is great. I missed getting to chill with Brennan, but it's all good because I texted him and he said he's great. So yeah, that's fun. But yeah, we wound up raising close to $1,000. I think a little bit over $1,000, like $1,006 or $4 or something like that, for the Child's Play charity, which is really cool. This has been a project for Jake for damn near 10 years. This was WrestleThon 7, and even though it's been 10 years, the only reason why we're at 7 is because pandemic. Fucked up the order from doing it yearly. But it was really
this was
cool.
More like a skeletal kind of revamp because we didn't have normally there was.
This is the first
people
one
would
after,
donate stuff that we would give away from like 2K and WWE and stuff like that.
It was the first one after the pandemic break that was forced upon us. Yeah. But he also was working on an even bigger project with that, which was basically shooting a documentary about WrestleThon, which I thought was super great. And he had after the feed went off the air, he actually did like sit down interviews and stuff. And I got to do a little sit down interview. So I'll be on the documentary as like an OG volunteer and stuff. So that's really cool. But yeah, it was a good fucking time, man. I fucking love WrestleThon and I can't wait till it just gets even bigger next year.
Well, it gets back to prominence next year. I feel like next year that we'll have a lot more normalcy as far as getting stuff sent for donations for giveaways or stuff like that. I first thing I told him, I was like, man, I don't want to sound like an ass by saying this. If I would have had more time notice, I would have been there for a lot longer than I was.
Yeah,
So when the last words were, be ready next year to be here a lot longer. And I was told him whenever you need me. So especially if we're doing it overnight. Because, man, I still have fond memories of getting chopped for charities. Like, if we get another 100, I'll take one for the team. Yeah. What? And then Andrew was there, and he was getting one. Yeah. What? And then the wrestler that will not be named for doing gross things was also there and got some shit done. But so hopefully next year we get back to familiar donations and ritual motions and stuff that we've done in the last couple of WrestleThons. Because it's for a good cause. Like kids in the hospitals need things to do. Yeah, games to play while they're in there. So
it's great, man. It's fun stuff. The live chat was kind of going on while we were talking about this other stuff. Let's see here. Arnold says Danielson is walking on thin ice. Then Daniel Price said, if it wasn't kayfabe and Danielson's concussed for the 3rd time already in AEW, people will have Tony's head. Arnold replies, I fear that man will be left in the ring one day.
I hope not. He's got 6 months.
9
months.
Price goes, pretty much, Arnold. Say what you want about WWE, but they were trying to protect Danielson from himself. Tony's like, man, do whatever you want. I'll just buy a new toy. Yeah, you know what?
We'll wait for Brady Joe to grow up.
But then Arnold says, Chris has hot bad takes. And then Daniel says, we could open up a restaurant that combines wrestling. Call it Hot Cakes and Hot Takes.
No.
That being said, my next foray into ring announcing is also going to be a charity event as well. So December the 1st, which is a Friday, down in Santa Fe, Texas, at the Santa Fe Fire Department, there is going to be an event that is put on by some of the former sponsors of UPW. It is going to be a charity event, and the goal is raising it's a Toys for Tots event. Gotcha. So your admission to the event is an unopened toy. So just bring an unopened toy. We're going to try to fill a fire truck full of toys and then we're going to put on a badass wrestling show. So come on out. But yes, like I said, this is getting put on by former sponsors of UPW. Why? Because
It's safe to say? Okay.
UPW is officially RIP, or UPW is gone. There was a.
It's not the first promotion Abel's killed.
Oh, fuck you!
So this was only a matter of time.
Yeah. But yeah, wait, did UPW fold? Abel, the curse continues. Yeah, like whatever. But yeah, the UPW is now gone.
To get you a job in TKO.
Oh, I know, right? UPW is gone, unfortunately. I mean, this is wrestling, so never say never. Hopefully Bart can get the fire back in his eye again. Maybe sometime in the future. He's eyeing sumo stuff because he used to do sumo way back in the day, so maybe he'll start doing sumo promotions. I don't fucking know. But UPW is gone. But in its wake, we're going to put on this show on Friday, December the 1st. So Friday night, come on out to Santa Fe, Texas, to the Santa Fe Volunteer Fire Department, and just see a badass wrestling show and give some toys for Toys for Tots. Give some, give a little fire truck to a kid or whatever. But yeah, we're going to have a very stacked card already. One of the names that's already advertised to be there, Brian Keith.
Oh, nice.
Yeah. So yeah, Brian Keith, as well as many others like Chris Carter, BD Brawley, Ransom, a lot of your favorites that you saw from UPW, Chris Lyons, they will be booked. So yeah, I don't think we have an official card yet, but make sure you come on out. So that is the next time your boy will be ring announcing. Hopefully, maybe I'll find something between now and December 1st, but I don't know. I've been trying. I have a booking that the date is a little shaky.
You're going
out in early Texas, which I think we already talked about this. Yeah. It's a small town out in the middle of Central Texas somewhere.
Don't be late.
Yeah, I know, right? But the date is still a little shaky right now on that one. But as soon as I get a more solid date, I'll let you know.
That is everything. So
when's the next time we're recording?
We could preview Crown Jewel.
Okay.
Yeah, that might be next week. I have to double check.
Okay, we'll check.
Yeah.
We'll check the calendar.
Yeah.
Until next time, adios, my friends. Keep it classy. Done.